Okay, so today is February 8th, 2026. I am going to share a photo of a table that I created. Now, I feel like this table, man, some of this is hard for me to explain. All I can say is I have been working on these things for many years. I have proof. It is even on my social medias and my YouTube channels. So it'll go back 7 years and also 7 years before that and 7 years before that, and everything can be documented. So the way this table comes together, it is from my many years of studying so much, trying to do as much research as I can on so much, but I have only been able to do what I can, like many of us. Now, if my story will get checked out, which it can be, it will show that I could have been involved in many things that are going on of the world today. One of my ideas for us all to pick up on and take off with is a story we can market, which I'm going to share in here. You guys will see, and that is just one thing. And I want us to break away from that story as soon as we can, because I don't want to bring bad on anyone. And then we can go into my story, and then also, with that comes much we can work off of, as far as like the book, which is titled Now We All Shall Rise. This is the or I have the cover on here. It is on Amazon Kindle, and again, that is Now We All Shall Rise. That is also a YouTube channel. So, and that is also a brand we can all build off of. So all of these things I've been working on, and we can all put these things together to work for us. So in the table here, hold on. All right. So in the table here, you will see the first round part. Now the first round part, that table represents all of us. Now I don't want to use a religious term, or I'm trying not to, and that is for those who do not believe, but they still want peace, or they believe in trying to better the universe, or better humanity, whatever it may be. So now, in this day, and with what is coming to the light, I have to mention that I am, like I say, I want to be careful with my words. So I am trying to take a stance for those who want peace. So let's start there. And that's what the inside of the circle for is, for who wants peace, and trying to grab those who believe in peace. There's a certain something I'm trying to get to, and who believe in that, and we will utilize this. Like, there's many people around our world that we have to, let's say, try to save. Because whether you believe in something or not, everyone would like to be saved in a situation sometimes. So many people, we want to try and help them. We want to try and save what we can, even saving, preserving the earth. That is actually another thing of mine, the universe. That is, I, um, I stand trying to find the right words, or trying to use the certain words. So, but anyway, I stand for the universe, and like I say, for those who believe, and in peace. So on the inside of our circle here, you see some numbers. Now, these numbers are very important, because starting off at the one which you see there, the 1 billion, starting off there is the only way this will start. Anything less, it won't work. I don't see it working. It's not even, because that number is a number that catches attention. It will promote itself. Now, that number to this day, or actually, okay, so I have proof going back 7 years, to where this is what we asked for at first. And I started seeing many changes. I started seeing many things. I sent my information in my book and everything out to many people in power, presidency, or excuse me, to people in power, presidency, and royalty around the world. So, um, okay, so we was asking for that number then. Now, like I say, I started seeing a lot of changes. I kind of sat back, watched everything. Now, everything has been building much lately. Um, much was spread out. New businesses started. A lot started sprouting, coming to. Okay, so now what I'm getting at it by saying all of that, that last part by much has come to, that is why you see the bigger number here. Now, if we can raise this bigger number, it will help everyone. That is the only way we can kind of do what we need to do. Now, I'm going to say something real quick. Let's call this the pot, the main pot of the world. I feel like the main pot of the world, especially when it comes to for peace and for the universe and for the sake of humanity, um, I feel like $1 trillion is not a lot, especially when we're hearing the number thrown out these days. And I'm gonna also mention some things in here, like as far as some of the ideas and what we plan on doing with this, to where we will see and we will know that this will grow. So with the starting at these numbers, these, and then okay, so you see the numbers on the inside of the table. You will see names and the lines on the outside of the first table. Now, the circle are representing seats, because I have always called this, I don't know, something like I think it's too strong to try and call it a second government, because I think by us trying to call it a second government, they'll always shut it down. So just like a not really sure what to call it, but that is what I had called it. And also, we are not trying to override the government. We will work under the government. We see in this day and time that the government could use some help, the government as a whole. So because so many years of them trying to maintain structure or maintain control and structure and build, so many years of that has caused so much. Some of them, they're only human. They did not, let's use the term power up. They did not try to do the best, even though they may think they did. But let's connect that with the story, kind of like with the kids and the parents these days. Some parents did not do their best. So, but anyway, um, so, and man, I don't want to forget where I come. So, oh yes, so around the table you'll see the seats. Now, these seats and these people that you will see me put on here are, everybody has their own reason for being at this table. I'm gonna give you an example. So let's say, I'm not gonna start with all text because I want to talk on that. So let's say, Bill Gates. We got Bill Gates written up at the table here. This is before the files had dropped a certain way and given us proof of whatever, whatever. But this name we can use for a good example, because even though these people are going through what they are going through, I feel that they still can and should put into this pot that is for the world. Now, and inside of this name, and anybody around this name still should. I don't know if I should use the word should, because it seems like we're telling them to, and that's not what we want. Regardless of what's going on, we're not trying to force anything from anyone. Whoever, and we don't even want it if no one wants to do it. This is a certain pot, a pot built from peace. I really want to say something else, that way people can have a better understanding. I'm probably gonna have to. I am. Uh, so the people around that, like I say, so anyone can, and then also in the end here, it will show, whoever puts into this pot it will show how much they care for a good worldly system. And also, let me get this out of the way. Like, so I need everybody to understand, or we, or everyone have to understand, like something like this is huge. This is not something that I myself would want to take on, or excuse me, want to take on. I have other fights that I'm trying to fight for, and that would be going after any evil a certain way. I have been sharing on my social medias. You guys will be able to tell what I'm going after. So what I'm saying is, this is too much for one person. This is now. I will watch things, of course. I mean, that's what this is for it to do the best that it can to go and grab all Christians from where they have to be grabbed from. Christians are being threatened around the world. Christians are being killed around the world. Information is coming across my screens, making me think that Christians are being lined up. They're going to slaughter Christians. I'm using certain words right now just to be quick and get it out the way. Now, and also now I can talk a little better by me not having to go around the words. So this is God's pot. Now, that is not a lot of money. And in God's pot, it will be used a certain way. Now, and also I can see that everyone will benefit from this. We will be in every state and in every city, and it will be quick. Everyone will benefit from this. Change lives. And it won't take much. Now, and then I'm going to get to all these ideas to where you guys will see how will take off and do so much. Now, the number alone is going to show you and tell you. So, and I'm a businessman. I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years, and that will be proven. That can be proven. So I understand how economics work, or whatever we want to call it. I understand how so much work. I've been studying so much. And this is another important reason why we want to pull this stuff together and very quick, so we can start focusing and studying the things we need to study to better humanity, to further humanity, to really find out what's going on. And we'll be able to get into places that we are not allowed in right now. So now, using the name Mr. Gates and them, like we say, regardless of what they have going on right now, investing in this pot for a better will kind of show some things. It will just do something. We're also in times of recognition. Things are coming to the light with the big evil, and I also want people to realize the evil and the negativity on small levels also, and we'll get there. So in this table, we'll move from Mr. Gates' name and to try and use another example. Okay, so moving from Mr. Gates' name as that example, we're going to move over to, let me cut this back on. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Checking the video on the time. So we're going to move over to the USA Turning Point. Now, the USA Turning Point, we're going to use them as an example as far as saying we would hope that they would like to be involved, and also we can see that they're going through much right now, and they just started. They have so much backing. They are involved in so much to where their organization has blown up into too many different organizations to where has blown up into organizations that has been going on for so many years. They didn't know they were going to connect themselves to these organizations, and now many people do not trust them. People are talking about conspiracy theories, and Miss Kirk could be involved, and Miss Candace Owens could be involved, and Mr. Charlie Kirk could have set it up. A lot of these things. I'm gonna tell you one thing: once we get this pot going, a lot of that stuff ain't gonna matter, because we're gonna have stuff to do, and a lot of things are gonna get rolled over. People did not think that times. I think we are in a shift right now. Like we say, evil will not be able to hide. Not much. Now there are some evil that will hide if everyone is not careful about what they're doing right now. I want to say this part before I forget. So all of this information they are letting out, and then also you see the information being let out about Christians, and how the certain Jews and certain other religions feel that Christians should be slaughtered, or whatever word we want to use. Them saying that, I want to say we don't know if they are trying to put it out in the internet for us all to get aroused up for them to do that. Now, let's say Christians got so strong. What would Israel do then if they really don't believe? What would they do? Like if Christians got so strong and we started to fight back? I'm talking about really starting rolling over businesses. Now, I'm a businessman before anything, except for what I do. I work for the universe. I work for peace. But anyway, so I'm a businessman, though. Been a businessman for a long time, so I know how things work. And excuse me, getting off track a little bit there. Anyway, I'll probably come back to that, or I'll come back to that. I know that I was saying we have to be careful how we move. We don't know if they are lining us up, like putting all this out for the Christians to kind of, start fighting and going after things to where they can make their move. Um, and we don't know if these people are wanting to make that move, part of saying that they want to depopulate the world for whatever reasons it may be. I do see that we have more years to try and figure some things out. It is just that major corporations, companies are not taking those steps. So with the USA Turning Point situation, that's what I mean. And then getting back to that, they have connected themselves to people, and they have so many situations going on. We don't even know, or we don't really. People do not know what to trust with them. And like I was saying, with this pot, once this pot get going, shoot, man, their story is their story. They can keep building how they want to build. We have nothing against them, but we do know that there is a job to be done. There are things that needs to be done, and not even just in the Christian world, but like if you break away from the Christian, I am able to explain all of this without using the Christianity or saying or talking spiritual or whatever. Uh, Without the spiritual, we need this. Um, and you guys have to excuse me. I'm trying to say so much so fast, trying to get this out the way. So if there's anything, like if I get off track or if I forget where I was coming from, please excuse me, and we'll pick back up on it. So um, with the Erica Kirk situation, or excuse me, with that situation, with the USA Turning Point situation, we feel like that is a big organization that has gotten a lot from the Americans, and I'm not talking bad in any way. I feel like they would want to be involved, should be involved. I feel like everyone should be involved in this. We also have Miss Candace Owens' name next to there. Now, okay, so on this table, you have the right and you have the left. Now, I put that there to represent the right and the left in our government. And because we do feel that I feel that there are some good people in the government that probably want to be a part of a better system, and they would be willing to teach how a system should run. They would be able to come in and strengthen the system. So that's where we have the right and the left there. Now, okay, so we got Mr. Elon Musk in the middle. We need someone like that. Now, regardless of how people feel about him, this guy is really trying to get into furthering humanity a certain way. Now, speaking on this situation, I need everyone to understand that sometimes humans can be, what do you say when you don't understand something? Or like, let's just use a simple word. Humans are animals. So, however, we are evolving, or we have evolved, and we are to be the best that we can be, and that is what we are working on to move forward. And also I have ideas to where we will be able to figure out what everyone is trying to figure out. I do. We have to be careful though, and things are already breaking and unfolding. Allow them to unfold, and also by the time that this system will kick in, because we'll be doing our underground work and things will be being done. I know what's going on. I know. So things will be going on while this system is getting built. Mr. Trump has about 2 more years in presidency. That is another important thing. We got 2 more years, and we need to know we have to be in a better situation by then. And also, that is reminding me to speak on, we need him for these next 2 years because he is the business mind. He is the human on earth that is being used for certain reasons, for this land, for the American people. He is being used because he came up years of knowledge, years of business experience, years of much experience, and that gave him much insight. Many people would come to him. Many people would have new ideas. So the guy is very smart. He was put in place. He is in place for a certain reason. So we need him these next 2 years to strengthen our land. Let's say he was a bad person, and we need that bad person, not bad person, excuse me. We don't want to use that term right now. Let's say he had what he's built up from, whatever he's built up from, kind of like me, and to why I am suitable and I am fit to fight the fight that we want to fight. But so let's say he came up a certain way, and if he wasn't who he was, or if he wasn't who he is, we would not have him to do the things that he is doing now. Some people do not see what is going on. Some people choose not to see. Some people don't care at all. They're just causing chaos. So we wanna roll over all of this. So all right, now, and that's where we left off with the Mr. Elon Musk. So these guys are already experienced, and they're already set in place, and they're doing things. So, and we would like to think, and we would like to hope that he would work with us also. Give the people a chance. This table is also representing all, giving everyone a voice. So, and I know how to make it to where this will benefit everyone. It will, man, this will be able to take many people from their jobs. It will be able to give many people jobs that they really want. This will do so much. This is the shift. So now moving on from the Mr. Elon Musk. Now also we got other tables around Mr. Elon Musk because of course we will take, we will need all the people in that field to try and further what is possible as far as are they building on Mars, or is there anything that we can do as a people to be involved. Also, we see, or we are not sure what is going to become of Earth, the planet. So we want to focus and try and study certain things to where we can be prepared, and we can purchase equipment, and we can be involved hands on. So now now that moves to all tech. Now we have a seat. Now, Mr. Mark's name is on here because he's been in the Facebook game for so long. I think because of his age. Now, I'm hoping that he is becoming wiser as he grow. But these people, they know so much about how to create apps, and we want to create an app for ourselves also, and it can be called Now We All Shall Rise. That app can be created, and that app we want it to run similar to like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, something like that. So, and we already know, I want you guys to picture this. Anything for this right now in today's time, everyone is going to want to be a part of it. I think anything connected to this table is going to grow so fast and so quick, which is why this is very important. And also, I'm going to get into these other ideas, and not other ideas, but the like why this is being brought together and where it has to go for the better of America, and then that is going to stretch out to other countries, other nations. So, um, okay, so all tech. We want all tech people, so we can, and then we are going to raise. We are going to. I want to use the word farm, but we're going to farm our own tech people also. Teaching coding, all of these things. So because that is very important in the world right now. And also, we want to try and limit using the AI so much. They have opened it up to where now all podcasters are using AI for the simplest things. So we all want to think better too if we want a better universe. And to speak on that, like electric, or the way the power grid is, or the way we use power. If you're moving around your city, you'll notice how sometimes at nights when big time companies and businesses are not there and it's not running, do you see all of the electricity that is being used? So I think we need to figure something out to where all around, at least America, let's be an example there. Around America, start saving energy and preserving. Also, it makes me think of to talk about the toilet situation. Do you see how much water is used to flush the fluids that come out of us? It shouldn't be that much. I think we need a new creation there. So, and we will have our own inventors. Everything will get drawn to this table. Everything will come to this table like magnetized. Everything is to come to this table. This is the only change. I haven't seen anybody else talking about this, trying to do this or put this together. And it's been 7 years on 7 years on 7 years. And like I said, I say that way for a reason. And I'm not sure and actually in every 7 years, it was a different stage of my life going through this. So, but anyway, um, so our tech is very important. We got your left, we got our right. That's going to come in. That a lot's going to come from that. All right, staying at the inside of the table here, on the other side, you have your investors. Now, these are people where, the main circle here in my first draw up, we had Mr. Trump's name there because this is someone that you would want having your back, because many people are not going to try and get over on this person. They can't. I know you've heard of a phrase to where you're not going to pull any wool over my eyes. So you want things like this. And when you're coming up in business, you will always go through trial and error, or you'll fall victim to something before you realize it. So you want people that are experienced, highly experienced, and that can teach. Now, in something like this, we would only need, well, actually, no, excuse me. Now, there will be many investors. There are many investors that are smart, wise, bright. Some may even come to the table that we've never even heard of. They just want to work for something more peaceful. They've been waiting for something better to come out, or they've been waiting to be released. And a lot of people are tied up in so much. If you look at this table and we're talking about all of these people are tied up to so much to where they're not free anymore. Even the biggest people, let's say Mr. Trump here in the and man, look at how many court dates, or look at all the courts that are going. Look at so much history of everyone. Everyone is so tied up in everything. This table will be a free table. This table, like, and yes, we'll pay our taxes. But this money, this whole table, this everything is not connected to anybody. It doesn't owe anybody. And by it being God's pot, imagine how powerful that is going to be. Imagine how every dollar is going to be able to be stretched out. Because how are you going to, or I know you're not going to try and tax God. No, what I mean, no. We'll pay the taxes. But what I'm talking about, we know you're not going to try and get over on God. We know you're not going to try and come and say, hey, listen, we want this, that. Because you wouldn't tell God that, would you? And I promise you, we know where this is going to go. Now, we'll follow the flow of what's going on now. And from what I know how, excuse me, from what I know that I know, I want to tell you that I already know how this is going to affect every single soul, and they will know it. But anyway, and I don't want to put too much on that. You know, I just know so many things. I've been studying so many things, and from studying bloodlines so much, and for studying bloodlines for years, um, um, studying bloodlines for years, I have known and figured out that some things are connected to what not connected to the terms people are using. Okay, I'm gonna be quick with this, but to give an example, people say like from of the most serious situations in the world, people will say, "Oh, that's those." Actually, this morning I heard it a certain way, and it made me put a joke to it. But okay, so people will say, "Oh man, that's those Democrats that did that," and to a serious situation, to a life situation, or they'll be like, "Oh man, that was the left or the right." And I heard somebody say this morning, "Uh." Oh yeah, that's them white liberals. You know, so I thought to myself, I thought it was a joke, and I'm like, man, that's crazy. What? Because I've studied bloodlines, and I study bloodline by studying a person's characteristics, and and many connections to these studies or whatever. So, but however, or I'm thinking to myself, liberal is not in the DNA, is it? Is it, when you study the Homo sapien, you know, by science, will the science tell you, okay, this human has Democrat in it, so you have to do this, or, you know, or will the DNA say that this human being has liberalism in it? It's a white liberal. No. So people, some, and in saying this, we need people to realize that they are carrying evilness, negativity, certain things. They are carrying these things, and they do not realize it. They do not understand. So, but anyway, like I say, this is a briefing. We can keep moving on. We see what we was at, where the investors are. So, of course, we will need all cultures to come in. You know, just go ahead and bring two. So we got the Asian culture, white culture, black culture, Hispanic culture, Indian culture. I think the Black Panthers here would have been in the same category as, like, let's say, um, Team USA, or excuse me, the USA Turning Point. You know, because any major organization, we want to try and work with them. You know, we bring, you know, the Black Panthers. We're sure we can find a place for them. You know, working with them, and also the new group, the Black Lions group that they're putting together now. So now, okay, so you're gonna see a round circle part there. Now, in that round circle part, the light part, outside of it, you're gonna see Russia, China, Israel, and whatever countries we'll put there. We're just using their names as example. We're going to start with Israel, because Israel, we are hearing so much about them right now. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter what is said or what is done, unless this is done. Now, by this being, as far as Israel, donate to this pot here on America's soil. This is God's pot. We need Israel to donate to this pot, and we want Russia to donate to this pot. China donate to this pot. Other countries donate to this pot. But right now, we want to start with Israel because of what's going on in this day and time with Israel, and what Christians are hearing, and from what Americans are hearing. So we feel that Israel should not mind putting into this pot On top of, I already know, and I want to speak on certain situations that we will have Israel. We will get a better understanding of this Israel situation. We have to. How can we not? I have shared on my social medias what has been crossing my screen, and something has to be done, or whatever. Now, same thing with Russia. Now, there's a different situation with Russia and China. Russia and China, we feel that they should invest also. That way, we can get a better understanding with them also. Let us all try and work with each other and try and figure each other out. Because eventually, here we need more back and forth. As far as I'm pretty sure, we have many Americans that wouldn't mind going to Russia, enjoying Russia. I already know for a fact many Americans want to go to China and enjoy China. So anyway, so that's where those come at on the outside. And then we got other seats from the outside of the table because there may be other, for whoever that want to invest in this pot. Now, let me get down to the part of where this funding or what this funding will start kicking off on. Some of the best ideas that I've thought of. Now, I need you guys to excuse me. I want to make sure that these take before I get into this other part. All right. So this is the second part to this video. And so we went over everything, a good layout of how to, a good layout of something to start and how we can go about it and what we're calling it. So with these numbers, these are just some of the things that I wrote down that we will utilize this funding for everyone. Now, of course, we got the first one written down, investments. Now, me being a businessman, I know certain things that we would invest in, many investments that we would invest in. Oh man, I don't even think I have to speak on that. We see. Now, some people will not understand because they are not business people. But as a business person, you have to see what the world is going after, what is being marketed, what will, let's use the term, what'll fly off the shelf. Or let's say industries that everyone will need. Not wants, but need. And one of the industries that I am thinking of, or it has been on my mind the past couple of days, is the trucking industry. So that is one of the industries that we will get into. And I feel that that is something that many of our people will come to and utilize. Like I said before, anything that is connected to this pot, I feel that people will work with. And we're asking people to work with this at least for a year to 2 years. Allow this to open up, allow things to grow, bloom, and build in a peaceful way. And to those who are concerned about the evil and going on, I promise you, we get into that. Like I say, that's my fight. And people like me. Some of you are not built for that. So don't worry. We're there. I started when I came out, and I put pressure on those situations, and I can prove it. And I'm built a certain way. I want to throw in that some people are touched, special, rather religious or not. I'm pretty sure some people have met some people that they really could tell that they were special, in tuned, or whatever you may want to call it, enlightened. So, okay, so investments. And like I say, man, anything that we invest in, we will invest in. We definitely want to invest in better foods. I have some ideas as far as they have these cups out now with the vegetables. These cups used to be fruit cups, but now they got them with the vegetables. And I've eaten some of them. I really like them, actually, and they are enough at a point. Now, a lot of Americans, or us over here, or a lot of people, period, we like to snack. And when we snack, there's not too many options. We're going after what has been put out here for us, which we feel we're owed for that. And we feel like all major companies should put into this table. That is where some of these seats are. I feel like so many major billion-dollar companies or major industry companies should put into this table for us. Give us a chance. Allow us to grow some. And it will also open you guys' lanes up a little more. But don't think that anyone is... I need you guys to excuse me. Some people, I need certain people in the back to excuse me. I can't say certain things right now because we don't want to scare certain people off. And we have to be careful because the more time evil is given, the more time it will, the more heads up that evil is given, the more time that it will try to go and hide other places. It will make it more complicated for us. But anyway, so The investments. We'll invest in so many things, and man, like I say, the list can go on and on and on. I'm a businessman, so the list will go on many things that we will want to get into. Let's say we like, excuse me. We could purchase a chain of McDonald's or a chain of Burger King, and kind of run it the way that the original people probably want it, or whatever. However, now what the reason I'm saying this is because we understand that chains, or excuse me, these industries or the corporations like a McDonald's can be bought by anyone, and it can operate, and um, so I feel like we could get a chain of anything that we want and operate it how we want. We hear some rumors and we see how the food industry is not being um, ran properly in some cases or in some areas. But anyway, I just wanted to name some things that we know we would get into, and that's one that we do not have to get into. We will mainly be in like you guys have to excuse me. And like I say, I'm trying to say so much so fast. Now, that is for certain people. Now, I have been studying big time industries and focusing on certain things that are going to bloom heavily, big time, big time. So now, just to give my perspective or my views on the Bitcoin situation, to where some people might say, well, will we invest in Bitcoin? Right now, on my soul and from my many years of knowledge of the Bitcoin situation, or my many years and my many years of knowledge and moving around in the business field and watching how things go and understanding the Federal Reserve, the Bitcoin situation is not something that we could invest in from God's pot, because it is not a for sure thing at the moment. Now, the XRP is something that I looked into differences in these things, and the XRP is usable. It is backed by something, and if I'm not mistaken, or I seen a news clip, but I am not sure if it is true when it says that the XRP was given permission to become a bank, something like that. I'm not sure. I didn't look all the way into that. The Coinbase or the coin system thing, I am not into it. I did have a little bit invested in Robinhood, and I did see it grow some. Now, and then just to share the portfolio on there, because I just rolled into that. So the Robinhood, like, okay, so I invested in things like Nike, Newport, industries that are not going to go down. If anything, they're going to go up. So this is like, no, this is about knowing what is what. I also invested in a company that was an up and coming company, and I watched how that money did not grow, and it kind of actually shrunk, and it went down. So, but anyway, so you want to be careful, or excuse me, investments, many investments that we would be into. You wouldn't even be able to stop. And also, I am also interested in. We want inventors. We want to bring as many inventors in that we can, and starting off with new inventions and things like that. So moving down from investments, we got new centers. I feel like so many places could use new centers, man, and these centers could be made up of just something different. It seems so dull everywhere, and then everybody is on. Everybody is on. Everybody is on edge. Let's say that, from everything that is going on. So I think new centers should be created for for many different things. I know one. I know when I first. I know 7 years ago I had asked for us to have truck and trailer systems, and let me see if I had wrote that down here. Yes, I did right here. Truck and trailers. So truck and trailers could go with the centers, these type of centers. But I feel like a lot of cities probably need different types of centers. Yes, they do, because you have homeless people and people that roam around, like in the homeless lifestyle. Some of them are not homeless, but they still roam around with the homeless lifestyle, and some of them have mental issues. So I think certain centers should be put together for them to be able to hang out more. Throughout these years, cities have been taking away from the homeless because the homeless have been on the streets. Like, they have taken their electrical areas, and there has been parks around that has taken the water fountains out because homeless people, yes, they are, they do these things, but they do not have certain centers for them. Now, there are centers like homeless shelters and things. They've been built for so many years that those homeless centers and things are not being operated the way that they should be. I mean, come on, you guys, we're in 2026. And everybody is just so down, and the funding to everything is not being operated a certain way. But anyway, so the new centers, utilizing older buildings. because we know that there are many buildings that are out here that have not been used for years. And I'm talking about huge buildings with huge parking lots. Do you know what we could have been doing with that over the years? I mean, using them as little structures that could be utilized. We could have been calling them bases until someone else comes in to use the building. Bases. And we're gonna need a lot of this. I'm gonna get to some other things where you'll see we have other ideas that we can use some of these buildings for. So, new centers, utilizing older buildings, equipment. Now, equipment, I want to speak on this a little bit because we will want and need equipment for many different situations. We want production equipment. We need medical equipment. We need we're gonna need so much equipment for so many different reasons and different things that we'll have going on. But the main things are the medical equipment. We will need certain medical equipment to where we can have some buildings, or we can utilize certain buildings to where people can at least go in and get checked out without all of the extra. Like, there's not a place that you can go and just have yourself checked out a certain way without going through all the certain process, going through the process. And then now you have this huge bill just to get checked out. So we want more scan buildings and scan centers and many different systems in the health field. We already know that, and we'll get there. But as far as equipment, we will need much equipment for different situations, different businesses. Land, of course, we will be interested in land for many different situations, many different reasons. We don't have to buy up so much land if the government doesn't want us buying so much land or land in certain areas. It's okay. We'll go and find land somewhere else, but we do need certain land, and we will need land. We will need land in certain areas because this all have to be connected. Some people will not be able to travel or transport, and we want better transportation for at least here in America. We want to make it to where people can go experience more better. Also, we need some type of rule, some type of something connecting these states and things. There are many different rules and many broken up situations, and that is for those people to gain more. You got 50 something states in this one country, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. And like I say, people like me, I still have a lot of studying to do, so you have to excuse me. And also, I want to mention that I don't ever mean to misspeak or overspeak or down speak to anyone or anything. I apologize. So, the land, we move on from there. The trucks and trailers, I just mentioned that. But to speak on it a little bit, trucks and trailers are important for those who do not have trucks and trailers. It can help them in life. They don't have a truck and trailer to go out and do a simple job. I feel like we should have this everywhere in America, in major cities, to where there is a center with trucks and trailers there that can be rented out for cheap and loaned out to the younger life to where they can go out and do clean out jobs or do trash out, whatever it may be. Trucks and trailers are very helpful. Also mentioning that, teaching them we can teach them how to use certain tools, and they can go out and do more than just trash outs and helping people move. So definitely big on that. Now, another thing, these other two are very important. Military theme parks throughout America. And I feel like we should create them, so many. That way, we want more American soldier type young men growing on our lands. We need that. Our services went through many people were discouraged throughout the years going through because of what's going on. There was a lot of problems inside of our military services. And yes, I do feel that we want some changes within our military services. Like, are they teaching them you know what? I don't even want to speak on that because, like I said, I don't mean to misspeak. And we know we have a strong military, and those guys are built to be strong men, fighters. Now, what I want to speak on, I'll speak on it down the line sometime. But anyway, you can tell that I do support them because these next two are for them. Like I say, military theme parks. We want a lot of military theme parks on America's land. Military programs. I don't understand why we do not have more military programs in America. That way, young men and young women can go be in these military programs on our land and kind of get the same feeling of being, a service person in the military, and give them the same, some of them people in these programs might not mind being shipped off. Some of them people will want to be a part of any wars that we have to go fight for peace, in any time that we have to go police something. So, military theme parks, military programs, and also another one, voluntary boot camp programs. Voluntary boot camp programs will be very, very beneficial to the communities. And just to be quick here, I went to SAI boot camp. It was a prison boot camp, but I went to SAI boot camp, and it helped me in so many ways. And this was after so many years on the streets. They taught me how to run miles again. You know what I mean? My body was not in the condition, but the way they do it, they'll put the certain people in front, and they'll teach you the cadence of the breathing. And that's when they taught you that. Like, still to this day, I can get out and run a certain amount or control my breathing a certain way only for a little bit because of what they taught me. Also, I ended up getting my GED in that boot camp. On top of, they're making you work out, that they're making you, so it helps. Now, as far as, I also want to throw in here the way I carry myself, the way I talk and the way I'm respectful. I did not get that from boot camp. I was raised in the South, Georgia, so I got that from there and my people. So with the yes sir, no ma'am, all that stuff, that came natural to me. Before I got there. Prison reform programs. I spoke on prison reform a long time, and there's many ideas to go there. Now, mind you, these are things that we will put, some of these are things that were written down to come from this pot. So it's going to make so many things so much better. I promise you, there are many souls in prison that should not be in there. Many. And what we will be able to use is, in today's time, we see that many judges have been wrong. Many judges also have been caught in crimes lately. Now, to go down the line, or to go down that system, we have had officials being caught in crime, sheriffs, policemen, police officials, many officials. We can't even name them all. So we want to use that for you guys to work on some of the forgiveness that some of these people deserve in these prisons. Now, let's say, because I don't want to say that I'm talking about people that have done murders or murdered innocent people. I'm not talking about them at all. If anything, you may get rid of that situation now, if a person is acting out and they don't want to carry peace in the world at this time. Anybody that wants to be evil and do certain things, you may get it. Should be to where they can be gotten rid of. And I want to go back, because that reminds me of an idea. Like, we should have a certain law, a certain rule, to where if something happens, and if in that state, if that case is not being treated right, it can be voted to be sent to a different state or to someone else to where it can be done. For example, some states don't have the death penalty, and some states do. So if a person does something to where we need to use them as an example, then we're going to have to send them to the state that can get rid of them. And also, crime has been high because they have not done certain things that could have been done. So we want to also use that. Throughout, let's say at least 3 years now, cameras could have been better throughout the system. And they may say, well, we can't hold all that footage or record all this and all this. They will say that. However, they can record all this other stuff on these social medias and hold them into so many files. So that is a situation where we see that they put corporations before the humanity, or whatever it may be, however you want to say it. So, but anyway, the prison reform thing is huge. We want to be huge on that, because those are also many people that we can utilize, many people that we can get ideas from. So we want to try and flood the prison system and see what's going on in there. And also, I got some ideas, and I already know we got some facts to where we can get some of our peoples back. We know what's going on. We know that there was some battles in the streets, and there are some parents that are not holding their ground or not standing up the way they're supposed to be standing up. We know that there are We know about some situations in the streets, but people are not able to speak on it a certain way. I can save some of these people. I can get a lot of these people out of the prison system. But anyway, we need to switch that whole system. Excuse me. I don't want to say too much, and I don't mean to misspeak. So we will also have the best lawyers to stand for good, or the best lawyers that stand for good. We got that stand for good. What I mean by that is we want good lawyers, not lawyers that you've seen will go out there and fight for the bad guy. You have some lawyers that will really go to court for the person that they know is lying, because they're a lawyer. They figure, okay, well, yeah, I got a good fight. I can beat this fight, whatever it may be, because of this and that, and they helped a bad person get off. I wonder how many lawyers we can go, or how many cases we can go and find where a lawyer got a bad person off. Let's say the person did a crazy something after they got off, or I mean, some people just probably won't get caught again. But anyway, so we'll have the best lawyers to back us up, because when you get big in business like this, you will always have people try and come for you, saying, "Oh, well, you can't do this or you can't do that." And we'll have the best lawyers in every field that will step up. I'm talking about when we need a law change, we need that lawyer there, because that's another thing that's been holding us back. Do you see the process we have to go? Do you see the process we have to go through to get the right thing done? Some things are not even up for debate, but they would rather debate it in court. So you people let these people serve us all these foods all these years? So you people is letting all this crime go on all this time? So you people done took all these people, I want to speak on a certain situation, but I don't want it. Let's say petty crimes. You've taken some people for petty crimes and put them away for so many years. There's been a lot of things going on where so many souls have burnt already. So many souls are burning now. And with the way things are, they don't mind burning all the souls that will still get burned if something don't happen. So the best lawyers for everything. Education and skills. Of course, we can see the education system is a certain way. I would say outdated, maybe, but we definitely need the education system. I don't think that many people will be able to raise their kids a certain way. Many people say that they will, and they can. However, I see how the education system is built, so I think that we will always need something like that. Now, my idea is have it to where the education system is stronger, teaching skills at a younger age, trades at a younger age, and just trying to teach the human more. So now, okay, health and medical. I spoke on that a little bit in the equipment situation, but the health and medical is something that we will invest in. So of course, God's pot will be invested in the best health and, the best things that we can put together. So entrepreneurship, this is something we want to teach the young life coming up. Entrepreneurship is very important, because you should never be tied to just one business. We understand that. I mean, I'm not going to say that you never should be tied to one business. Let's just connect it to the phrase, never put your eggs in one basket, whatever, or never just depend on, just a certain something when you know that there's so much more that is there. So, but anyway, entrepreneurship. And there's also other reasons that is important. It forces the brain to multitask on a high level. So that is very important that people start at a young age on working on that and getting to understand the word and the steps to take to be a great entrepreneur. That should be a good title. That should be a title that you want. That should be a title that you can stand behind, that you are a good entrepreneur or you're a strong entrepreneur. And like we say, in that comes many things, because you need to be the best financial advisor you can be. You need to be the best medical person you can be. You need to be the best combat person you can be. You might want to get out there and be the best sports person you can be. You want to be the best salesperson you can be. There's so many things, so being in entrepreneurship teaches a person to multitask and on a high level, focusing on their brain work. You have to excuse me, these words I'm using. So, teaching class and combat. So we definitely want some part of that. Now, I had something else written down on the first one that I had drew up, and it was trying to teach people like gentleman skills inside of combat. like make them the same thing. And I think it will teach people to have a stronger and better characteristic or character, because characteristics are very important. You have some people that have not been taught about character. Like I've been in many households, and some people, like the way that they talk around their kids or the way that they are around their kids, and don't think that that affects the way that their character is. It amazes me, or is it's like why like. But anyway, and I'm not speaking down on anyone. All I'm saying is, uh, let's teach more class or teach more gentlemanship, whatever you want to call it, etiquette. Um, and ninja skills, because to be a ninja, that's not regular combat. To be a ninja, it takes much focus, it takes much. And I think to be a ninja, it's constantly, or excuse me, like from my excuse, to be a ninja, it takes constantly learning and learning and learning. And to be the best ninja, I would say you'd have different lanes of ninjas, because but to be the best ninja, wouldn't you think that you'd have to be the smartest person also? Because that's where some of it come from. Magic is not real. A ninja is just so smart, so quick, so swift. It's all in the agility, the ability, the sharpness. So I think we should teach those type of combat skills inside of teaching them how to be a gentleman. And that's with our young girls and our young boys. Teach them their gentleman skills, or all the etiquette and ninja skills inside of that combat skills. Just so much more. Just so much more. So, almost done here, because I did have some. Oh yeah, so we want gang engagement programs, and these are programs where we engage with the gangs more and bring them in more and try to support them a little more, because that's really why the gangs are going through some of the things they're going through, because man, it's so hard on them. They don't even have any help at all. Now, I'm not saying help, but like there are some evil people in these gangs too. So those are the ones also that will have to come forth, or we're gonna have to find them. Evil, I'm talking about. But however, you have some genuinely good people that are in gangs because that gang was their family. That's all they knew, and they're not gonna do nothing bad unless somebody does something bad to them. So, gang engagement, I think, will also, because a lot of these gang people, like the good ones, they're going to tell the young life not to join gangs. They're going to tell the young life, stay in school, do this and do that. And also, I'm pretty sure we can find more things, or we can find more programs for some of these good gangsters. I want to make that, I want to say that a lot more. We have good gangsters, man. People just put bad to the word gangster all the time. You have gangsters that were gentlemen. That's what they stood for, to be a gentleman. And the bad that came from them was from somebody else in that field or in that lifestyle. They was a gentleman, and somebody thought they was easy prey, but they probably had to take somebody out or put somebody down or whatever you want to call it. So, but anyway, gang engagement programs. And this is to just try and save anybody that we can. Youth programs. I mean, come on, man, that can stretch out. There's so many type of youth programs we can make up. And also, man, I feel like we can have youth programs to where we can have an all black youth program over there, a all white youth program over here, all Mexican youth program over there. That way, some people might want their young life to be with their people, or some people might want their young life to go over here and do the black school this summer, and then next summer I'm gonna have you go over and do the Mexican school, and then next summer I'm gonna have you go over and do the white school, or summer school, or whatever, maybe youth programs. They may say, okay, well, I want you to go over to this youth program for this time, just to kind of mingle with their kind and see how they do with them, see if they mix, because some people from some cultures do not mix with other cultures. They just don't, and that's where the confusion come in. That's where the fighting come in, and the bad, the insults and all these things. So we want to focus on that a little more. Also, senior buildings. We want to build as many, and the better. We want to have better senior buildings, and also adoption agencies. We want some of the biggest and best adoption agencies to where we can take on the kids that people don't want. And if they don't get adopted or whatever, shoot, we still keep them. They'll stay with us. We'll teach them until they either go on out, and that's at 18 if they want to. They go on out, because we're going to build them to where they're going to be ready at 18 to take on life. So, but anyway, adoption agencies, senior buildings, our underground recover programs. So, I wonder if that mean where, like, okay, so I know where the reason I'm saying that, because it's not coming to our underground recover program. Now, it's reminding me of my situation where I want to clean my name. So let's say some people out there, let's say they have misdemeanor warrants or probation violation or child support or a certain amount of drugs. It wasn't a lot. And, they probably, you can really look into their situation and see that they probably, they could use that other chance. So I'm thinking, and that's why I call it recover programs, because there are many people that would like to recover in life. They can't, though. They don't have the funding to go get a lawyer. They don't want to be locked up. And a lot of ladies or innocent people could get harmed that way. Do you know if a lady say, oh man, and they might slip up and say this, because you have ladies out there that are addicts and they running around a certain way, and we know how the world is for women. So a woman may say, oh man, I got a warrant. I can't be in touch with the police. Ding, ding, ding. Guess what type of flag might go up for certain people? They can do whatever to that woman, and she can't call the cops. Man, these are some of the inside and underground things that go on, like as far as like with the evilness. But anyway, to move on, and these are the last two for now, but there's so many more. I'm glad that I was able to give these examples and go over this stuff. So, help with state and city structures. Now, it is always important for the cities and the states to focus on their structures, because they will have so many complaints from citizens and residents or whatever. So inside of our systems, we will run through and help with what we know we need to help with. Most of that is potholes. So why haven't a concrete company in your city went out and covered the potholes? Why would your city be going through dry? So you know why? Because that concrete person, like why? If you're a major city, how many concrete people do you have in that city? And also, I'm sure a lot of those concrete companies are multi-million-dollar companies, because they're on huge sites doing concrete. Even a petty concrete person probably could have went and patched up the hole, but a lot of times the state will say, hey, don't do that. You can't do that. So we need to figure out these rules, work out all these things, and like we say, we can help state and city with structures for now, because we do not need the city's big time money getting funneled into your structures, because they already have that system set up to where those companies are going to get a lot of that money, and you guys are complaining when your life could be better, but you're complaining, talk about no, put our money into these streets, put all of our millions and put all of, more guys' time into the streets because of your nice car. I understand, though. I understand it's a part of the system. So we want to try and shift some systems and we're going to have to be strong about some things. I think we need to revert back some, and we're going to have to thug it out about some things. I apologize about using that term. I want to use that term for certain reasons. Also, in the future, we're all going to have to bring it together anyway. We all need to thug it out together a little bit. So, but anyway, help with state and city structures in every and any way that we can. Right here was the thing that I had wrote down. I did write it down recently, so it was the trucking company. Because many companies will use us, a trucking company. And I'm asking if many companies will use us for at least up to a year, give us our chance, let us, let our businesses grow. So, but that is that, man. And then with the table here, we see how everything is going. Oh yeah. And I'm also going to show you guys, what I have for us to start. So going into a different section, I'm going to stop this real quick. Okay. So first we have a book. The book is Now We All Shall Rise. That's on Amazon Kindle. So that tells you that we have something we can distribute, something we can put out for millions to purchase. I want everybody around to watch that number. If the number grows or if we can move it, this is somewhat like me asking everyone to sign me in. Kind of like when a record label signs someone or someone gets signed to a major deal or whatever. If all of us can bring this together, everyone, we can get behind these things and create our own machine. This pot that I'm talking about is going to create its own machine anyway. It is going to bring in the best from all around, but it's going to bring the good people, and that's what we want. That's what we like, and we'll be able to weed out the bad. But anyway, so we have the book that we can all promote and put out. I also have another book that I have not published yet, and oh yeah, and the first book it has not been major published. I just put it on Amazon Kindle. So if we can get a book deal, we can start there. I also have another book. We can put it in the system. We can run it through. I have 13 songs that I had put on my YouTube just for something that we can run through the systems and run the views up on them. Now I have other videos that I have put out also. Now I have this other idea that I want us to go with. I have a bunch of Pokemon cards and a bunch of Dragon Ball Z cards, many of them, to where I think we should try and run those through a huge platform, asking everyone to purchase one of those cards or donate whatever, like or now if they can purchase one of the cards, for whatever you can, like the most that you can, and it will make that card that value. It will give that card that value. So you get that card, but also, or excuse me, this is just one of the ideas. And like I say, it's so many of them. So we display these, and also Dragon Ball Z is a huge thing coming up now. And I'm saving my Dragon Ball Z cards. I have many of them, but I also have different ones that are kind of like some of them are the same that I have. Well, I have every one of that, the ones that I'm gonna sell. But anyway, but there's more of those. So I have so many Dragon Ball Z cards, and people can consider purchasing one of these cards for the cause. I've seen that. I don't even want to call the number out, but I want you guys to go look up. I don't even know if the clip is real, where Jake Paul or one of them, Jake Paul or either Logan Paul, where they purchased the Pokemon card for so much money. And I'm not sure if it was up in the millions, but it was a high number. So, and I also have a bunch of older sports cards. And I have some, like, let's say, art pieces. So these things I want us to bring. These are where we can start. That way we know we are not empty-handed. Now, this is something that has been given to us, you all. I want you all to pay attention to what is here and what is going on. Now, I can be checked out, but for me to be checked out, man, it would take you so long. People have to believe this process. You will learn as you go. What you feel you want to question, it will come to you. It's actually probably, it should already be there. So we have to move on this as soon as we can. So, and right now, I feel that I am a couple months early on pushing forward so much, but I am getting this stuff done. I think I'm not sure if I mentioned it in this video already. I do not know how to make these videos look fancy or promote all this in a fancy way. But once we come up with what we need, we will be able to do that. Everything we will produce everything the best way that we will have everything produced the best way. This will bring the best of the best people to us, and this will grow us, and we can fight the fights that we want to fight. I know what everybody is worried about. I know what everybody wants. Well, excuse me, I don't mean to sound a certain way. Like I say, I've studied bloodlines. I know humanity. Like, as far as an individual, let's say there's an individual standing in my face talking to me. That individual, if it's not an alien, or like something from outer space or something different, I know it. I know him. I know her. I've studied the people. I've studied these people, and that is why I am considered one of you. Like I say, I don't want to get to speaking crazy or sounding weird. So I am one of you, and I am with all until people give me a reason not to be. And like I say, my thing, I don't know. I was just made this way. Or excuse me, I was about to say I don't know why I'm this way. I was just made this way. But I'm an action person, and I come from the streets. So I hunt certain things. I hunt certain um we gonna say, I don't want to talk too much. But anyway, this is that, and we'll move on from here. Man.